You're listening to the Abolitionist Round Table, patriotic Black American conservatism, with your hosts, Del, Phil, and Janice, leading the charge in advancing the 4%. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600.
And we are back, and this particular topic that we're on here, and it is, to me, makes me ask the question of how I ended up being a conservative, because you have to ask your question. So many times you see political parties, political people that are willing to give you whatever they can in order to get you to vote for them. Mm-hmm. So I always ask the question, if I vote for this person, if he accomplishes what he says he's going to accomplish, what good is it going to do, not for me, not for you, but for the country? And somehow or another, people didn't ask this question of Barack Obama, and they're certainly not asking that question of Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't seem, but this particular guest this morning has asked the question. Mm-hmm. What is, the question should be, what is the purpose of bringing, of an American president bringing all of these refugees into this country?
They label them refugees now with the UN so that they can bring them in and make it easier, and they can accommodate them with all these social programs too.
So there is an article called Let's Make Michigan Sharia Free, and it's written by Merrill, McCarthy. And she is our guest this morning, and I've got a lot of questions I'd like to ask her because she seems to have asked those questions in this article. And I'd like to say a good Abolitionist Round Table welcome to Miss Merrill McCarthy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, it is a real pleasure to have you on the show this morning. When I read this article, I'm obviously some of the questions that you ask yourself, what's the purpose of this? Why are they doing this?
Well, I think there probably are many reasons. As you mentioned, this is a UN-driven program. The UN actually chooses the refugees that they decide to send to the United States, to our cities in Michigan. And I think one of the reasons is wealth redistribution and really transforming America, because we're not getting refugees from persecuted Christian territories in the Middle East. We're getting mostly Muslim refugees. And as you mentioned, they're labeled as refugees. They really probably are something else. They might be economic migrants. Some might suggest that they could be hidden terrorists among the numbers that are coming in. We just don't know. It's a very secretive program.
Well, that's the question that anybody with some common sense ought to be asking. If there is not an open policy, because if you remember, both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama said that they were going to have the most open and the most transparent administration ever. And there are some motions that Barack Obama made when he came in, and he said that he was going to make sure that that all of the agencies were open and transparent. And we see that this is the most closed administration that we've ever had a chance to witness. They compare him to the Nixon administration. And I say to you that the reason why Nixon was able to be taken out of power was because there was a collaboration between the Republicans and the Democrats to get to this man and stop what he's doing. But you see the Democrats, led by Harry Reid, are blocking everything that would be to make this administration responsible. So, are there any suggestions that you can make that we other than?
Well, I think that the most important thing is that we are armed with knowledge.
Yes.
I'm connected with a group that has been working tirelessly to shine the light on what is going on. Mm-hmm. And before I forget to mention it, I want to tell you about a website that's been put together. Mm-hmm. It's called Refugee Resettlement Monitor Michigan.com. It represents the information that we have been able to gather through research, and even we've had to go to Freedom of Information requests to get information from our own government, from our own Michigan government, to try to find out who's coming, where they're coming. Right now, refugees land, and we don't even know anything about it until they're here.
Yes.
Some of the schools started in the fall, and they didn't know they had a whole new population of refugees needing language services until the kids showed up on the doorstep. This is not the way. This is not the way to run.
Exactly right. But I don't know if you saw it or not, but Governor Christie said almost the same thing you just said. Now, he's a governor of a state. He didn't have any foreknowledge of people coming into his state. This is incredible to me. How can this happen?
It's because our federal government is allowing the UN to make these important decisions. And I submit that we have an immigration policy that is broken and has been broken for the last 35 years. About 35 years ago, when a refugee came in, they came in as an immigrant, and they were sponsored by somebody else who vouched for them, who said they would be the fallback if they couldn't make it financially. They would help them out. And when I've met immigrants from that era, they are such wonderful Americans. They came here for all the right reasons. They came here to become 100% Americans, and that's what they are. And I think it's because of the way they came in. The way the refugees come in today, they come in, they get an apartment all set up, food in the refrigerator, furniture, job training. They're immediately connected to every kind of welfare benefit imaginable, many more than our poor or our homeless or our veterans or our sick or elderly are ever entitled to. These people, come across the border. And what I notice when I see them interviewed on television, I can only go by what I'm observing.
Yes.
They're not talking about being persecuted in their country. They're not talking about anything like that. They're talking about economic reasons they came. Yeah. This is an aberration of the program.
Just quickly, the action that Brooks Patterson was against. There is a group of doctors that are financing this thing, talking about putting up a housing tract and a school and all of this. These guys are going to make tons of money, and nobody is saying anything about it. The only thing that's going down is, can we stop the city council from approving this? And they've already said that they don't even have to go to
even go to them to get a vote. Yeah, can you believe that?
So this thing is going full throttle, and it's going to probably be a reality in a couple of months. And these guys will probably make hundreds of $1 million over a period of time. And we have such a abhorrence to people making money in this country that live here, but we have no problem with people coming from another country and making money. And because we have this idea that if I were in a country that was oppressing the people, that I would be trying to do the same thing. And that's not a reason to give away your country because you feel that you need to be benevolent.
Well, I agree with you on that, and I would also take it in another direction, and that's that when we start making cities within cities, when we start making enclaves within areas, there's no assimilation. There's no way that these people coming in become part of the tapestry of our country
and what you're
in the way
up,
that other refugees in the past have.
What you're setting up in this country is fiefdoms. There are leaders in each one of these enclaves, and what they're not preaching the American spirit, the American way. They're preaching Sharia, and now we've got chaos and we've got anarchy within our own country that we have set about. And it wasn't with the vote of the people. It was at the edict of another potentate. This is what is going on. And John Kerry and Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton before him, these people are pushing this thing, and it's all because we have elected these people and not held them responsible.
Well, that's right, and it goes back, really, if you study history, it goes back to what Islam is all about, and it is a ideological movement that has some of the trappings of religion, but it really is about territory expansion.
Yes, it is.
There's a concept in Islam called hijra, which is the idea of going out, immigrating to new lands for Allah. And that's what people are doing. They're spreading all over the world. And if you go back and look at the history of Muhammad from the beginning days, it was all about expanding territory. And he was involved in many bloody battles during his time. And almost everyone except one was an offensive battle. He was moving and expanding territory, gathering the booty from war. That's how he built up his followers. That concept has gone on for hundreds of years. And you can look at a map and see the expansion of Islam. Yeah. And that hijra is happening right here in the United States, right here in Michigan, right now with this refugee resettlement program.
Yeah, I agree with you.
100%. I want to bring on a person that has a question for you on line 2. Good morning, Janice, Mayor Janice Daniels. Good morning.